Hi everyone, Tim here. In early 2015, I closed the doors temporarily to TAS Performance Engines, just taking a little break. And in the meantime, I want to start a new hobby. And since my brother and my dad were hot and heavy into these RC cars, I thought I'd give it a whirl. They are into the nitro. I'm not a big nitro fan. Yeah, they're awesome. They just give me a headache after a while. But 2015, the electrics come around and the technology is just unbelievable. So I got hooked on it. The goal was to build one car a year. That was the goal. As you can see behind me, I got a little carried away. It is addictive and it's very fun. I hope you enjoy. Well, I want to start from the top and work my way down. This is my electric 5T unfinished. I do have all the electronics. I'm just being a little too picky about where to put everything. I just want it balanced real good. You would not believe the electric motor I have for that car. It is absolutely awesome. So that's an unfinished project. It's turned out pretty good so far. Next to it, this is a redcat shredder. I did not build this car. I just changed the tires and body. I had issues with the original body. The original tires were kind of goofy, and I ended up using them for another project, but it's a lot of fun. I run it on 6S. It's a Leopard 1/5 motor, which is actually a 1/8. But it's a 730 kV with a 150 hobby wing. It's very fast, very powerful. Okay, and then on down, this is a Team Durango 410. I plan on racing this one. It's a very nice car. I haven't finished the body yet. I do have a new body for it. I just need to paint it. And I changed a few things because I refused to buy their batteries for this. So I just put an ofna battery holder on it, if you can see it here. So I can use a regular 2S LiPo on it. A very nice car. Team Durango made it a little more complicated than it needed to be, but it does all right. How I clean an RC car is with dishwashing liquid and water and a toothbrush. I'll scrub them down, and then I'll rinse them off with water. I'll let them dry, and then I'll get a fresh bowl of dishwashing liquid and water, and after the chassis is dry, I'll rinse it off again with that dishwashing liquid and water. And I'll let it dry. I won't touch it. It looks brand new. Even if there are scuffs on this stuff, it looks brand new. That's why some of these RCs, none of this is new. But if for some reason, the dishwashing liquid, if you don't rinse it off the second time, it just keeps it looking new. And it's easier to clean. I like doing that rather than oiling it, because the oil, it just draws debris and dirt and it just sticks to it or whatever. The dishwashing liquid, it doesn't allow that. And it rinses off real easy, so allows everything to rinse off. So if you want to try that, give it a whirl, and I think you'll be surprised. And this build I just finished here recently. This is an ofna TS4. Just so happens that the Racer's Edge Pro 4 Enduro, it's the same damn thing. And to cheapen this one build, I went ahead and stripped the good parts off the Racer's Edge and put on this one so I could finish it. I do have quite the story to tell about this one. When I first enabled this, when I turned this ofna on, I did not have the transmitter on. It took off and made a loop around my studio, and I used my foot to stop it, and I ended up breaking a dog bone. Well, I ended up taking it to a hobby shop. They happened to have parts for it, and I ended up racing it that day. They were racing, so I entered it in a 4x4 race and got second place with that. It was a pretty good build, and that was an awesome way to break that one in. Next to it, this is the Batman Remo Hobby. Whatever, it's pretty cool. I believe RC Tanks and Planes, something like that. I watched him and what he said about it, and then, you know, I got it. And there's a couple of things about this car you got to be cautious. The shock bodies, for one, do not match the stems. And if it was the right length, it would articulate much better. You got about an inch more shaft there that could be used. But other than that, the transmitter, every time you switch steering, crab walk, four steer, rear, whatever, you got to realign the steering on this thing every time. So it's kind of a pain. And everyone's favorite, these two builds here, the Wheelie King and the Crawler King, absolute fun builds. When I have family and friends over and we do some RC bashing, everybody turns to this one. They all want to run this one. I did include Trax's onboard audio. The downside to this one, these shocks suck. I don't know if they're bent or something, but the front's pretty stiff, but the back's okay. The HPI Crawler King, this one is absolutely adorable. And it works great. These shocks, they look dorky, but they work beautiful. The HPI Crawler King, I made it a four-wheel steer. I bought two of their servo thingies and mounted it somehow to the back, and it works rather well. But until I finish the tires, it's going to sit there and collect dust. And I also made the headlights work. So these were fun builds. I'm still not done with this one. I bought Clodbuster wheels and tires. I just want to make some hubs for them rims to give this more precise whatever. And this is my baby. This originally was an Ofna Nex 8, and I did everything I could to turn it into a sprint car. All I have left for this bad boy is the body, and it is done. The bad thing is I wanted to be accurate to scale or whatever, so I experimented with tires, and you know, it looks cool, but it handles like ass. So I'm thinking about just getting the Hobio original tires and calling it good. But yes, it is very fast. And right there, that is a 2.5 gallon kitty litter bottle. I just need to cut it and fit it to the body. The side measurements and all that's perfect, so it'll be great. Here is an unfinished SC10 Team Associated. I got my last pair of rips I'm going to buy coming in, so I'll finally have all 4 tires. No electronics. I may make this one a shelf queen. I don't know. It is a good build, and it seems like an awesome car. If you can see under there, I've included a buggy body. So what I've been doing with these two-wheel drive short course trucks, I've been putting the buggy body with the short course bodies. And it's been working out pretty darn good. So that's SC10. This is a Proline Pro 2. And what gave me the idea for the buggy body is the Proline Pro 2. You can't really see the body in there. Should get a flashlight. I got an unpainted Proline buggy body on this short course truck. That's the hybrid chassis. This thing works wonderful. It's actually my favorite as far as the short course trucks, two-wheel drives. This is an ofna, or no, sorry. This is Team Durango 210, SC210. This thing is really nice. The body, I stripped it of its paint, and believe it or not, this is just regular aerosol. It's a basher, broken up body, and I just thought, what the heck? I would just do something and make it look kind of cool or goofy, I don't know. But it worked out rather well. And this here is a losi, what they got, a TLR? 22 SC. I don't know, something, I can't remember. It's been a little while, but this is a hybrid losi. And it's okay. It is in comparison with the Proline. I'm just not too impressed with it. So when we go racing, me and my dad or whatever, I'll race the Team Durango. He can race the losi. It's all good. And here is the ofna TS2. Now, mind you, all of these RCs have been used, and probably I didn't even get 50% of the chassis, so I had to get the parts and complete them. I haven't given this one a bath. If I give this one a bath, it looks brand new. I do have a brand new body for it, but I'm not very impressed with this because it has bushings and no bearings. But believe it or not, they work rather well. So I decided to just leave it. And the ofna TS2, the very first time I took it out and ran it, it was the very first jump. As soon as it landed, the back portion broke, and I had to get a new one. And I've been kind of taking it easy on it ever since then. But after that, it seems to work out pretty good. And here it is, the Blitz. This is Jordan's favorite. Anytime he's over and wants to race, I let him have his way with this one. It has been a trustworthy, wonderful RC. And very fast. They're all very fast. I've been trying to set up all the two-wheel drive short course trucks with the same style of rear tires and the same style of front tires. And on these short course trucks, two-wheel drive short course trucks, I have the jconcepts hazard wheels for them when I want to bling them out or dress them up or whatever. And on the Blitz, I experimented and tried something different. The Blitz, the offset on this one is the same as the Traxxas, so you want to get the hazard wheel for the Traxxas to fit on this. Well, I wanted a disc, because I've been trying to set up all the short course trucks with the disc in the front. I did make the disc work for this tire. I just put a spacer behind it, and I used a tube nut, a tube bolt, or yeah, tube nut, instead of regular whatever, and it looked real good, and it turned out real good. It works very well. And all on these two-wheel drive short course trucks, I've been upgrading the diffs from the ball diffs. I kind of don't like those, but the Blitz, it's still a ball diff, and it's holding up pretty good. But When it goes out, I'll upgrade that to the better system. Something else I noticed from the used RC builds, over a third of the threads are usually stripped. Guys, you don't have to torque these down so tight. I always just, when the head of the bolt is touching the plastic and it feels like it wants to stop, I stop. So that's pretty much just barely hand snug. That 22 SCT here, the losi, that was the worst one. I bought that used and you couldn't put a bolt in it. But there is a way to fix it. You get a longer bolt, you work it in and out, and generate some heat. It'll bring the threads back. Then you could use either blue or red Loctite and you're golden. So remember that on your next kit you get and you're building it. Don't over tighten anything. Just barely hand snug, and it'll be at its strongest when you do that, because you're not putting an impression in on the plastic and weakening it. So good luck. I also have two controllers that I've split all of these up. So when I go racing, there's a set on one controller for multiple different races, and a set for the other. I do have a late model in the stock car I'll show you later. But these ECXs, I did not build these, but I did upgrade them and fix them. They needed a little repair. No big deal. Okay, and on down, this is a JATO, and yeah, it is electric now. I have quite the experience with this bad boy. I, at one time, put a 34 tooth pinion on it. A 34 tooth pinion. This thing freaking flew. And I had it at my brother-in-law's one day, and I was shutting it down, and it just drifted right into his neighbor's mailbox and knocked it sideways. But it shattered this thing into a million pieces. So I almost got it ready to go again, but who knows. Anyway, this build, this is my second RC build I've ever done. It is a mixture of 1/10, 1/8, 1/6, and 1/5 parts. Anything I could to get it fixed. And this is a 2-liter Mountain Dew bottle for a body. And this one also has a 150 amp hobby wing or whatever. I built this specifically because I wanted to do some jumping. Well, it isn't that great to jump. It cases every time it lands. But this thing will fly around corners. It handles unbelievably well. Here is, when they first come out, the Eagle 3. The feyui, I think is how it's pronounced. It's a very good car. I have not done anything with it. I just put a battery in it and have fun with it. And then here is the wltoys. It actually, in my opinion, performs better than the Eagle 3, and it has lights and stuff. So, you know, kudos to wltoys for doing that. And I got a very good deal on these boosts. They're the first gen boosts that come out. They still work great. I did not want to do anything to this, but just upgrade it. Let's see, brushless motor and 2.4 gigahertz. I've done all the ECXs in 2.4 gigahertz. All right, dromidas. These dromidas, I almost feel guilty about getting them. The people selling them said they were broke. No, they just pretty much needed rebound. And they work beautiful. When my son's over, we do some soccer, and usually it's on Christmas. And the cool thing about these dromidas is that they have lights too and stuff. They run very well. So since I got the collection at the time of all the dromidas, I thought, well, let's just beef one up. And this buggy is absolutely insane. I went way overboard on that sucker. Every time I take it out, guaranteed to break something. I got tired of buying parts for it, so I did do some alloy upgrades. And the back, I just said to heck with it. I used tire glue and just glued it together. And I made like a skid plate in the rear for wheelies. And then below that, this is a Team Durango 210. This thing is absolutely awesome. This one has all the upgrades. It's a beautiful model. I only have a servo in it. I don't plan on running it. I really like it, and I just want it to be a shelf queen. I like looking at it. It's actually the very first body I ever cut. And, you don't even need to use clips on it or nothing. I'm not going to paint it. I'm not going to do anything. I'm just going to set it there and whatever. And the late model I race is this. Another Team Durango, whatever. Okay, so on the bottom here, these are those HB 1/10 crawlers. I bought all three, the 0, 1, 2, and 3, and they were meant to be Christmas presents. Well, after driving them, they just turned out to be crap. With the exception of the P1002, it actually steers and drives beautifully. But the P1003 and the P1001 are crap. The P1001, I think it didn't steer to the left, and the motors were kind of weak. And the P1003, it just doesn't hardly move. So I come to the conclusion that the P1001's built on a Monday, the P1002's built on a Wednesday, and the P1003's built on a Friday. That's my only conclusion to that. So I did make some videos of how I fixed the first one. The second one, I'll do it in a different way. Instead of MOA axles, I'll use shafts just to make it different. And I'll figure out if I want to still do the Christmas thing or not. I may come up with a different idea. But here are my holy grails. My most favorite RC of all time at this point in time, at this juncture, is this Baja Ray. It is not perfect out of the box. I kept hearing that people were burning up the rear ends and stuff like that, and I got curious, so I checked mine out. Well, they're dry. There's nothing in them. I used marine grease. I pack it with marine grease, and I started doing this because one time I got two of these. I traded race car parts for this one. But the first one I bought, I had rolled it, and I had picked it up by the drive shaft, and it burnt my hand. That's how hot it got. So now I packed it with grease. It stays cool. It does just fine. Servo arms, absolutely pathetic on those. I did go alloy on them. This one I haven't ran. But I got stupid and I put the Traxxas OBA in it because it's to scale. I want that sound. I want the engine sound. So in order to do the Traxxas OBA, I had to use their controller. I was so mad about that. I like that AVC that Spectrum did. I think they did a wonderful job. So now that I got some GT power sound and lights and stuff coming in, I can put that back in and leave that Holy Grail a Holy Grail. Just leave it be. And here is the Race Edition Traxxas. It'll probably be the only Traxxas I ever buy. I do love it. It is awesome. And I appreciate Traxxas for, you know, doing their own thing. It's got the onboard audio and the whatever the special race edition has and all that stuff. And it's fast, it's fun, you know, it's cool. So there's this area. If I can get a shot of the whole thing here. Oh, what a mess. So this has just been a couple of years. All right, so let's move on. All right, so over here I have the very first RC car I'd ever built. There's a couple of Lego fancy models up there, but and those actually shift. They have 5-speed transmissions in them and run. Okay, enough of that. This is the very first RC I ever built. I've taken the shocks off. I'm mocking something else up. But it 4-wheel steers and it runs very good. But I do want to update some stuff on it. I want to get rid of that 5/16 nylon and do some alloy or something. And over here we have some unfinished RCs. This is a Team Associated AE whatever. Team Associated 1/8 short course truck. I even got the cage for it. The only thing I'm missing is tires, wheels, shocks, and body. And that would be a complete finished vehicle. I have all the electronics for it and all that stuff. So pretty much this shows you how I start out on an RC build. There's a new cage, new arms, new steering components, just Christmas time, I guess you could call it. And this is from a Yeti, I believe. I was going to attempt to put some passengers in this truck. I don't know if it'll work or not, but I want to try it. There's some shields for the arms, lots of links, and lots of stuff. It'll be a fun build. But pretty much that's how a project starts. And here are some unfinished projects. The holy grail as far as buggies I'm concerned. This is the Team Durango DEX 408. I absolutely love this car. I got every little upgrade you can imagine on this car. And I really like it. But I want to turn it into a shelf queen. Don't ask me why I want to do that. I don't know. I just do. But I'll tell you, back in the day, I'll bet these guys were golden. Because this car is so well built, it makes sense, and it's just so simple and strong. I don't know where they come up with these ideas, but the stuff I've seen from them here lately it just looks difficult. They've difficultized the most simplest things. I think these are the ECX manuals. Okay, here's a cute little buggy. I was a little disappointed when I got this one. It said 1/10 buggy, whatever. I thought it would be bigger than it is, but it isn't. I'm okay with it. It was an absolute fun build. Since they're so expensive, I mean, just overwhelmingly expensive, I bought all used good parts. Even the belt. I'd never messed with a drive belt before. I put in a used belt. It's a little frayed, but it's just fine. Works just fine. I got a nice legal race motor in it. I do have new bodies for every one of these cars, so I'll use I did soak this one in brake fluid and cleaned it up real good. And this one too, I'd kind of hurry. It needs a little more finishing. And then I got another. I believe this was another Turnigy 1/5 buggy. That's what that monster truck was. That's another, just something I'm trying to come up with ideas for. I'm not going to give you any detail on that yet. I like to be secretive. All right, now down to the fun stuff. This is my late model. This baby is badass. That's another Team Durango 210. Absolutely incredibly fast. I took that out at Buddy's house and his concrete road in front of his house, and we had some other RC cars there. I opened that up, drove it in front of everybody. Oh my God, it was just incredibly fast. Here's the other boost, like the first gen boost. This is a Charger body, and I'm not going to be satisfied with my stock car until this looks like that 69 or 70 stock car. That's the goal for that. I probably shouldn't have said anything about that, but I want that one to look awesome. So now that that's all said and done, let's check my workout station. So this is where it all happens. My art table here I have had so many fascinating renders of hot rods and what people want to build and just ideas. But I haven't drawn anything on this table in quite a while. I've been building RCs. There's my losi. I have beat the holy hell out of that truck. I've never ran it in 3S though. I have no need to, really. There's the HB from the previous videos. It works okay now. Oh, look. This is a redcat Aftershock 80. That is the very first RC I ever bought. And the hobby store told me it was waterproof. Not even close. It was snowing when I got it home. I couldn't wait. I put a battery in it and I went. It was the most densest, darkest brown smoke you ever seen in your life, and man, it smelt bad. I got excited, ripped the top off, pulled the battery wires, burned the heck out of my hand. $250 thrown down the toilet. I was so mad. So, that is going to become the next project, along with the Racer's Edge chassis down there. I'm not going to tell you what I'm doing with those yet. And if you see back there's an axial gravedigger. I almost have all the parts to finish that, but so many people have built it, I don't know. Would it be worth it? Oh, well. And here is a complete Nex 8, ofna Nex 8, with a few of the, I believe that's a factory TS4 ofna wheels, and a few Racer Edge parts. But someday I'll get on that build. You never know. Anyway, so here's a portion of my model collection. I have big old boxes downstairs full of these things. I still have some of the models back from when I was 9 and 10. Yeah, that's pretty cool. And some more old models. And my dad, my brother, me, my uncles, we're just crazy about models. So after doing that and getting into these RC cars, I'm into this accuracy, detail. And that's why that Baja Ray is just fabulous. And I commend Losi for finally doing it right. Axial gave it a shot, but, you know, it's just not complete. There's some things missing. I don't know if this will help anyone out, but I just wanted to talk about my favorite electronics. Things that I've actually never have had issues with, minus the BL30 amp. Someone was racing the car around and kept it floored all the time, and it did overheat and foul up, but that's only one. I've bought dozens of these. I've never had the 60 amp fail, and I've never had the 150 amp fail. These are Hobby Wings BL 30, 60, and 150. These here are my #1 favorite ESCs to put in any remote control car. And then here not too long ago, Hobbywing went and did these Max series. I have one of each, Max 10, Max 8, Max 6. This Leopard is the Max 5. Just the price was good and I couldn't pass it up. But it is equivalent and looks identical to the Max 5. And the Max series is supposed to be built for human error. If you were to say you got a 2S battery and you're running an 8S or whatever, it's supposed to save itself and whatever. I don't know, but I'm intrigued by it all, and I can't wait to get on these next builds. But I just wanted to let you know what I liked. I don't know if this is going to be helpful to you or not. As far as price-wise, the Max, yes, they're expensive. The BLs are moderately, they're affordable. The 30 amp you can get for $24.95. The 60 amps $44.95, and the 150 is like $85, something like that. And that's well worth it compared to all these others out here. But there is something else. I don't know if you can see it very well, probably not. But what I run on my late model is a knockoff. I think it's a knockoff of a HSP. I'm not sure. But it is also a 60 amp. And I've had it on the JATO for ever since I've had the JATO. And I love the power. The thing is just phenomenal. And it does well. $21.95. I think when these first started coming out, I think I only paid $19 for these. But they've never failed. And here, well, it's in my late model, and the late model just screams. Another thing too, my favorite motors. All right, this is a knockoff of a 5900 kV motor, and it's black. That's my very favorite of the fastest motors. That's probably why that thing runs as quick as it does. And here is the stock car, the future stock car. I have the same BL 60 amp knockoff of something. It might be a knockoff of a Hobbywing or something. It's unbranded, generic, but it's just very powerful and does well. So the late model has a 5900 kV motor. The I don't know if you can see it. The stock car has 5200 kV motor. Now these blue 5200 kV motors, every single one of my two-wheel drive short course trucks has that motor in it, with the exception of the Proline Pro 2. It has the 5900 motor in it. But I just thought I would share. I don't know if that would help anyone on their build as far as power, but the TS4 and the 410, those are Hobbywing 4700 motors, and they work rather well. These Sense ESS1s, Sense Innovations sound units is the first ones I started using. I wouldn't recommend them to my dog. They don't last very long, and I just don't care. They're computer aided, whatever. So I'm just not sorry, Sense Innovations. You lose. I want to give a special thanks to some guys here on YouTube that have inspired me to do what I do, and seeing what they do. They're very creative and very talented. I'm amazed at some of the things that these people have done. RC Min Liu, his trophy truck is is very nice. It's very detailed. Sicon RC, his trophy truck, I believe he built out of 3/16 metal tubers. It's awesome. The thing is awesome. He races it around. He'll do some bashing. It is just awesome. Hemi Storm for the RC he built is just, it's astonishing. Pat Sampson, that interior, man, I got to, the projects that's coming up, when I complete them, I'm going to send them cars to you, man, and you just have your way. And then you got Bruno's RC Model Garage, a super scaled trophy truck. In case anyone hasn't noticed, I'm a huge trophy truck fan. If I had it my way, I'd have a pre-runner sitting in my driveway right now. But anyway, Dark Dragon Wing. Unbelievable. Come on, man. What education do you got? Give me some. You know? All right, incredible. These guys are incredible, and there are thousands of hobbyists out there just building these things, and it just fascinates me. Thank you guys so much. All right, everyone. Thanks for watching. I hope you liked what you've seen, and I hope you like the future builds. Next is most likely going to be a 1/8 crawler built into a 1/5 crawler. I think it'll be fun, but I want to juice mine up. It's going to go a little faster. And then after that, I want to get to a project that I've been holding off for a year. I believe I have everything it takes to complete these projects. I'm not going to tell you what they are right now. I'm going to wait until I am ready to shoot some vid, and I hope it'll be something that you like. All right, thank you for watching. Any comments appreciated. Thank you. Bye.